Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, my friends. This is, of course, the one, the only, the MRC show that never ends. And we are here tonight once again for the top tier. This is the elite tier. We are live, of course, at the Temple of Speed. I think our stream's up. I think it is. Can you check that? Can you see if we're up? Oh, we are up. Sorry about that, folks. I thought we had a little technical issue. But there we are. We are at the Temple of Speed. As said, for the elite tier, lovely sunshine for qualifying, which the expert tier also had. But then a little bit of changing conditions, which caused absolute carnage at the end of the previous race. So before we get into qualifying, some drivers already going out on track. It's time to introduce, for the man alongside me, for, well, second time in a row. How blessed are we? I feel we are very blessed with this one. It is my teammate, one of our long-standing members. It is Mr. Monster himself. Good evening, sir. Once again, I don't know why I'm saying good evening. We've been talking all night.
Oh, it's good to hear the fantastic voice of the Middlesbrough Meister again.
Exactly, in that last 5 minutes.
We've had a chance to call off after our race, so we're all good now.
Yes, we have. Oh, Martin is already in the chat. He said there is no rain this time. Thank Poopity Poop, I think he said. That sounds more like a Blackadder saying than anything.
Boom.
Exactly, yes. So we've got a few drivers out on track. Mr. Blowhole himself is on the mediums, doing a bank lap on the medium tyres. Quite a good tyre around here. It can be low tyre wear potentially around the Temple of Speed. The Autodromo, what's it called again? The Autodromo Nacional di Monza. So, a few drivers in. We've got a few stand-ins as well. We have got Beatties in this evening. We've got single track in, Floppy Loppy and B17. And a return to MRC, literally within the last 20 minutes, to the cockle picker himself. Bergen is back and racing, and in the Alfa Romeo as well, which was his previous car, I do believe. So welcome back, Bergen.
With Calvin as well. That could be a frightening little partnership for everyone tonight.
It is good friends as well, off track. So yeah, that really could. You're right there. Apparently, Martin has a cunning plan, my lord. I like it. I like it a lot.
Well, to stay on theme then, for Martin, basically what he's saying is, hang on a minute, lads, I've got a great idea.
Yeah, that one as well, yes. Yeah.
I can't resist one of my favourite movies of all time.
It is a classic. It is a classic. So it's going to be interesting to see what Bergen could do, obviously, on his return. We don't know if he's been racing in the meantime. But we're missing a key man this evening. Mr. Dynamite isn't with us. And that's going to be huge. I think that's going to be huge for the championship.
It is. Joni's looking at this and thinking, can I steal a march on this in front of my home crowd?
Yes, one of his home races, of course, the Italian stallion, the Italian teenager nonetheless, which is very scary. Reese, though, has been up there. He's been showing a really good pace. Dumas Hornet, I think he was very, very quick. A bit unlucky on Friday evening in the 100% race in X. Liverpool, really, really fast as well. So this is one of those races and one of those tracks that, I mean, 19.4 already for Joni. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's already... You know how they always say that the home crowd is the 11th man in football?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's got that. I think the home crowd is going to be that extra 10 for Joni tonight.
It is, isn't it? They did say, was it Mansell that said it was about worth a second or so at the home crowd?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, so see how he copes and see how he gets on. I'm sure he doesn't crumble under any pressure. Liverpool has set a good first sector. A lot of drivers out on track quickly. A few drivers just waiting till it dies down. And it is a short lap, of course, the 119s. You could be doing a race pace around the 122s, 123s as well. So, this isn't the longest race. It's one of the very short ones. But a high risk of safety car, we saw quite a few earlier on. And it's one of those that... the tyres, I mean, I destroyed my Brias, which wasn't good. at all. Strategy was going well and then went horribly, horribly wrong before a rather large incident ended both our races, which we will not talk about because we move on. We have a 2-week break, of course, with the bank holiday in the UK, so we will not be racing next week. We may throw a little race on for your entertainment, of course. But then we go to Spa, which is another absolute classic track.
Oh, it's an absolute stunner, that one.
It is one of your personal favourites, and of course, one that's based obviously quite close to your heart as well, and family as well, isn't it? So.
Yeah, it is. It was one of my my late dad's favourites. He loved the place.
It is, and of course we did that race round there for him, which was absolutely incredible, absolutely superb. We'll never forget that one, and yeah,
it was a fantastic one.
It really was, yeah, absolutely superb. And we always have good racing around there, and that's another tricky circuit where you want to sort of mix the lower downforce, but that middle sector is absolutely crucial to get right. And it's sort of round here. It is, isn't it? And this is sort of very similar, I find, as well.
Whoa,
because
I was just seen Saviour loop into turn 1, sorry.
But this is another one that's very similar in that respect as well, because you've got of long, the two long DRS straights that 215 potential mile an hour, because we are using proper terms, not the kilometre rubbish. But you're talking 215 mile an hour down that start-finish straight with DRS. And a couple of heavy braking zones, the long Curva Grande. We will do an onboard lap, of course, very soon. But we've got the second DRS towards Ascari, and then the long back straight as well without DRS. So that is crucial to keep yourself competitive and potentially have an overtake. But then the Lesmos, then Ascari, you need that front end, you need that rear grip as well, and that stability. And it's easy to. We've seen a lot of drivers come a bit unstuck when it comes to those faster corners. The rear just doesn't hold on.
Yeah, it's almost similar to Monaco in a way. The fact is that the teams bring specialised aero packages for this place, just to make the wings as skinny as possible and make the cars just like as slippery as through the corners as possible.
Yeah, exactly that, and it's all down to the engine power, but luckily we're on equal performance, so we won't necessarily see the Alpines, the Williams, the Haas's, the AlphaTauris closer to the back, same with the Mercedes probably. But, this is going to be an interesting one, this. Single track's just raced as well, and he's just been away all week with him, so I think he's rather tired, is our boss man.
But he's having a marathon. He's back in one of his old stomping grounds tonight.
He is, isn't he? He's gone from one blue to another, and to be fair, he was very unlucky to not get that race victory earlier on. So he's going to be on a high, I believe. I think he's a bit unlucky, but still a very, very solid second. I think he finished in the end. But yeah, it was a great race from him, and he's shown a lot of pace, a lot of promise recently. And our championship is wide open. This championship could potentially be wide open. Everybody's good lap on a 20.5. It's very close at the top here. I mean, O'Joni's 3/10, and Reese is very, very close to Le Rappel, with Chris just behind, of course. He's only done laps on the medium tyres, a 20.0 for Chris on the mediums. I mean, he was rapid the other night, and he was a bit unlucky, I think, on Friday. The tyres just ran out on him, and he was unlucky because he definitely had the pace for the victory, and I think this could be the same again tonight.
It looks likely. As you mentioned, Aero Voice, especially, as I say, he's another driver I've had some good run-ins here, and specifically actually around here when I made my MRC debut as a reserve here at this track.
Oh, yeah.
At Monza, we had a good little wheel-to-wheel fight for a fair few laps, actually.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, unfortunately crashed.
Oh, right. We won't talk about that then. So let's have a look at the Blowhole's teammate, Ant Guinness. He was ridiculously quick as well on Friday. A fantastic race from him, from close to the end to the back of the grid, and I think he got a podium, I do believe, in the end. And got a podium, of course, I think it was in China, or was up there as well. So he's showing some form again. And it's nice to see him on the proper tyres, a 19.9. So only a couple of tenths off as well on his first run.
Yeah, they're a weird-looking green there, Ant.
Yeah, that is, isn't it? I mean, I'm slightly colourblind, but I'm not that bad.
No, it's a weird looking green on the side wall of those tyres there, Ant.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. So we've got a few drivers now starting off on their second run. A few drivers already out. And this is one I timed it quite well. I didn't ever get traffic, and this is one where you really have to time those laps really, really well to get that traffic, because with it being a short lap and people trying to get the heat in the tyres, and you could catch somebody just at the end of a lap through a Scari, for example, or even through the Lesmos where you need the line, you need that downforce, you need the clean air. It's so important.
Definitely. And we got this a little bit with our qualifying as well. It'll be interesting to see if any teammates decide to work together tonight and try and give another car the tow on a run. Yeah,
definitely. You're definitely right with that one. Let's have a look up to Reese. He started a lap. He's slightly up in the first sector. Ooh, bounces over the first. It's not a bad thing to do around there. You can take that curb and bounce over it through turn 4. We were going to do an on-board lap. I totally forgot about it.
It's fine.
We will get there. I'm sure we'll go on. Oh, Bailey's on a lap. I'm not going to do it to Bailey, because last time I did it with Chris, I jinxed him twice. Ooh, G-Star, what a lap. 19.7 for G-Star into provisional second. He's slightly down in his lap time, but if he gets the great Ascari in a good run down the back straight, he could have a good gain again. And then final corner for Reese. Jules, wow, great lap. It's good to see him racing. I know he's missed a few races, I'm sure, but let's have a look. What can Reese do across the line? At 19.6, he does improve back into provisional second place with that one. What a great lap from him. Saves you into third as well, following suit. So the track's ramping up. Guys have got the eye in now as well.
As he takes the Sebastian Vettel line to the polystyrene.
Well, I'm just trying to find out who's on an outlap, and Stefan is...
Got Lirapel backwards on the back straight going into a Scari. Trying to get a little gap in the traffic so he can flick spin it.
Yep, he is.
Back away.
Martin, I said it was Blackadder. I'm sure I said Blackadder earlier. Anyway, everyone watching, please do hit the like button. Please do get involved in the chat. We'd love to have a bit of conversation with you. Share your thoughts, your memories of this track as well. And, well, hit the like I said, and get involved. Who's your predictions? Now, we're going to do an onboard lap with one of our commentators, Mr. Stefan, trying to get the best drive possible outside of the Parabolica. Does he take the wider line to the start-finish line? He does to start the lap, but actually he's taking the shorter line. It's fair play. DRS wide open. Let's have a look at this top speed from him. 215, 16, 17, 18, 19, 220 mile braking just at the 150 meter board. Oh, gets very slidey through, takes a little bit of the curb through turn 2. Important to get a really, really good exit. Kind of didn't really get much of the spin through turn 3. Curve de Bathiano, which is Curva Grande to everyone else. And then the heavy braking around the 100 meter board just after into third. He decides not to take that line, clips the apexes nicely through the Vianti della Roggia chicane into turn 6, the first of the Lesmos. Understeers a little bit through there, easy to do, and then the late braking into 5th, keeps it in there early on the power, doesn't run too wide. Second DRS zone, down the Curva del Seraglio into the infamous Varianti Ascari, turns 8. There it is, turn 9, takes a little bit of the curb, turn 10, keeps away from that one, can easily lose the rear through there. Good clean line from Stefan on this lap. Down the back straight, doesn't have a name, then the final corner. Only 11 corners on this track. The Curva Parabolica keeps it in 5th, tries to dab the throttle to keep the front in check and the rear as well, so he doesn't understeer. And the power towards lines, he take the shorter route. He does take a short route, he does a 19.7 with that one.
Great lap.
It was. Bailey's put a 19.4 in there as well. Only half a tenth off the back of Ujoni.
That's woken Ujoni up and thinking, right, I think I need to get out there.
Yeah, it is. He is now 3.5 minutes left. Will we see some mad dash? We may see a mad dash. I think we did towards the end of the expert tier.
He's got quite a good bit of space as Ujoni on the track at the moment.
The thing that's going to worry him is people leaving the pits now, but if they do and he's slow enough down the back straight and backs it up a bit, he should be okay. There are a few cars just leaving the pit lane. You can see in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen the track map. But he's got a Red Bull going a little bit quick. Yeah, I think he's going to let him go. I think that is on a lap. The Red Bull will be 17, I believe. It is. Yep. G-Star's in the pit. Yep. So he's just backing it up a little bit. And now, what can Ujoni do in response to Bailey? Reese is also out on a lap. He was the Aston Martin we saw leaving the pits going into turn 4.
Flying down that straight.
Yes, 220 mile an hour top speed for him as well. Keeps it nice and neat. Just kissing the apexes absolutely beautifully, must be said. Keeps a tight line through Kerber Grande. There's a few lines through there. Some people prefer to use a little bit wider line because there is a little bit of a bump on the inside there, but he's slightly up on his previous time. Takes a bumpy line through, but all good. And then Lesmos. He's got
some traffic coming up.
He does. Early on the power outside of the second Lesmo as well. So then let's have a look at his second sector time. Oh, he's 2.5 tenths up. This could be a fantastic lap. It takes a lot of the inside curve and then through turn 9 of Ascari. Is he going to get a little bit of a tour down the back straight? I think he's trying to help him just that ever more. We're going to keep our eyes. Yeah, I think he will help him a little bit. But then the dirty air as well is going to hamper him potentially through the Parabolica. Takes a nicer line as they run towards the line. And a 19-0. Jeez. I think Reese has bailed on his... Yes, he has. Reese is done. Reese is over with his lap. So it's on to Chris. Chris will get time. He has got time to do that. Saviour Jules as well. A lot of people on laps, a lot of people on the out laps now. Wow, we're joining 19-0. That's incredible, though. Oh, who's that? Lillipell's gone round.
There's moving the goalpost and there's that.
There is, isn't there? That's taking the football and going home.
Yep.
My train set, no one else can have it.
Yeah. Bailey's got some traffic when he starts his lap.
Yeah, there's a bit of a queue forming down the back straight. You can see that there. Liverpool has got, I think that's Alex Edric ahead of him who started a lap after Liverpool's spin. G-Star up on his time as well. I think we're going to see a massive change towards the end of this qualifying session.
Yep. I think...
So Reese has been able to go again.
Yeah, he's probably recharged. He's gone round again. How are those tyres going to hold up, and what's his fuel level going to be like?
Exactly, yeah, that is very, very true. We've got, I think, Chris is a bit further on, so he's got clean air now.
He's 1,000th up off the first sector.
Yeah, oh, a little bit wide to the first. Lesmore may have cost him a little bit of time. He chose to use fourth gear through there, where a lot of drivers keep it in fifth, so that's quite interesting to get the turn in and the rotation on the car with the lower gear, the higher revs. But he's a tenth and a half down. These elite drivers, a lot of these drivers are using that turn 9 curb. I tried to keep away from it personally. Wow, G-Star 19-4. Alright, so we know Chris was down. Reese is also down on his lap. He's got traffic ahead of him. One car is moving well out of the way for him.
Saviour's a 10th up. He's coming down the last straight now towards the Parabolica.
Yeah, we'll have a look. Oh, Chris was bailed on his lap. Let's have a look at Saviour. Our friendly German from Tier. What can he do? There's one towards the line. He does a 19.5 up to 5th, but displaces Reese, who is just down. He's had a good meal set to, but I think he's out. He's out. I think that might be out of fuel, so he's bailed on it. Calvin, the last one, he's finished as well. Let's have a look. We've got Red Car Rambo further down. He's in the pits as well. Carl has also bailed. So that is it, folks. Qualifying New Journey with a 19-0 takes yet another pole position for his ever-going tally. Jules with a fantastic lap at the end in second. G-Star in third. Chris Bailey in fourth. Saviour in fifth. Then Reese in sixth. Liverpool in seventh. LOL in eighth. Great lap from Herman and in ninth. Then Calvin in 10th. Single track in 11th on a 19.9 with another fantastic lap. So a second separates the top 12. Bergen on his return with a 20.0. Then we have Chatty Duck in 13th, Dumbest Horn in 14th, and Alex Edric, Ever Voice, Loppy, Red Car Rambo, E17, and Bit in 20th. That was good.
That was very good, and that is, I think, a couple of tenths in Joni's back pocket is coming from that home crowd again.
Yeah, I think so. That's it, isn't it? He loves it round here. You know, he loves Imola as well, which we've got in about 4 weeks' time, I think it is, that we've got that. But look at the gaps there. The gaps are absolutely minute, minuscule. You know, that gap between G-Star and Bailey. Then the gap a little bit further back to Saviour. Again, half a tenth again to Reese. Just under 2 tenths to Liverpool, who's just beaten by 100th to LRL. Then again, a couple of hundredths, half a tenth to Ant, and then the same again to Calvin. Just under a tenth to Single Track. That's just going on and on and on. That's absolutely incredible how competitive this tier is, and also then again the nature of the circuit.
Definitely, it's one you can run quite close side by side with here, easily.
So we do have a 5-minute interval, of course, ladies and gents. Look like we've got beautiful sunshine, which is nice to see. It is supposed to be a dry race. So, I mean, now we've had a lot of races here. This has been on the calendar. It's one of the oldest, of course, circuits on the Formula One calendar. If not, well, it is actually the oldest circuit. Of course, I think Jay Sarge was here actually recently. He put up that he visited it when he was in Italy, and it dates back to 1922, and was one of the first 4 tracks on the original F1 calendar.
I was unaware of that.
Yeah, long time. The original circuit was 10 kilometers long, and had a 5.5 kilometer road section, which was roughly like today's layout, and then that loop. And then, of course, we had that bank oval in the 50s, yeah, of course. So it's only been absent once. Can you name, and anybody in the chat, if you can name the only year within, what's that, I'm trying to work maths now, 74 years that the circuit was absent from the calendar? Open to everyone in the chat. Answers on a postcard.
I want to say one of the years of the 60s.
It wasn't. It was later. Riley, good evening. Good to have you back, mate. Yeah, so this is going to be interesting. See if you know. See if anyone in the chat knows. Of course, the only year that Monza was not on the Formula One calendar. I'm good, Riley. I'm glad to have you back, mate. Good. I'm good.
I have heard it. Is it 82?
Very close. Very, very close with 82. It was 1980. And that's when it was held at Imola.
Ah, yes. I remember hearing about it. I just couldn't remember what year it was.
Yeah, and then obviously they do swap, of course, and then Imola now with, the ridiculously long name. That's part Italian, part English, part Greek, part Swahili, I think.
I'm sure they probably buy bits of IKEA furniture and probably just add that onto the name as well. I think at some points.
I think it does. I think you're right with that one. So of course you mentioned the late 80s, and of course the late 80s, McLaren were one of the most dominant teams around that era. Now, which was the season it was the only race of the season that McLaren failed to win?
That would be 1988.
Nice. I like it.
Is it also bad? I can tell you who was the one that took Senna out and who won that race.
Oh, go on.
It was one of the Williams drivers who was getting laps at the time. I believe it was John Louis Slesser, I think it was.
Yes, it was.
But it was a Ferrari 1-2, was that race. And it was quite significant for Ferrari to win that Grand Prix because Enzo Ferrari, unfortunately, had passed away a few weeks beforehand.
Wow. And who was the winner?
I believe it was Berger.
It was. Wow. That's why we call the encyclopedia. That's why we do it. With that one. Riley's playing F1, so while he's watching, so great stuff. Get your practice in, my friend, and hopefully we'll see you in the Discord and racing with us very, very soon. So, we've got a very competitive grid here this evening, only about a minute or so that, till we have lights out. And this is another one that, like we said, that the top 7, top 8, separated by less than half a second. This is going to be a one for... I mean, we saw you were in a few and I was in a few where the DRS train's here and you just can't break it. And Chris was unfortunately victim of that on Friday evening. I know he doesn't want to be reminded of it. But he was, of course, trying to broke away a few seconds. And then just the guys using the DRS trains and that extra top speed just hauled him back in, unfortunately, for him. And he obviously fought back, got second, which was absolutely incredible, but yeah, it was really unlucky for him. Now then, we have the formation lap, folks. Let's have a look at the tyre strategy. Ujoni with his standard, starting on the alternate strategy, the hard compound tyres. And we've got Chatty Duck and Dumbest also on the hard tyres. Evervoice and Ant, the only ones on the softs, and everyone else going for that favourable mediums again.
Yeah, I think there was only a few cars in our race who started on the mediums, and I think there's more hard tyres runners in this front one than there is in that.
Yeah, I think there was two in it. I think there was two. I was one of them, and I can't remember who else was the other one. They started on the hards, and then we had a couple on the softs again. But yeah, there was one more on that one, and everyone else was mediums. So very, very similar, choosing that favoured strategy. But the mediums can, if you look after them, go a long way, and you can do a medium to soft strategy here. Where Ujoni could even do a hard tyre to a soft tyre. He could even just go early and go along the other guys and have the faster mediums and build up a gap where if they go to the softs a lap or two later, that he's going to have that continuity. He's going to have that the lasting grip that the softs don't necessarily give you. So it's going to be a long one, of course, the risk of safety cars, as we've said. So it's going to be another interesting race, and anything can happen, as we know, in MRC and of course the elite tier.
Going to be a tough one, but again, the main worry I think for a lot of people probably for this one will be that first corner.
Yeah, of course, it's very key to keep those tyres right, get that braking in order, and I think it was okay for the few at the front in our race, and then there was a bit carnage I think you witnessed further back and managed to avoid and things. So that was at least you managed to avoid it. Because it's so easy to get caught up in that, and you're right. There was a lot of carnage on MRCX on Friday evening. So hopefully, a lot of these drivers have learned from it.
Hope so.
Right. So. All the drivers lining up on the grid. 27 laps of this ridiculously fast circuit, the Temple of Speed. So that was a rubbish camera, so we're going to go on board with Ujoni while Bit lines up his car. Everyone seems to be able to park this evening. That's a first. Doing quite well here.
Miracles never cease.
I know. So here we go, let the timing just settle itself down before we get the lights. And there we are, we have 3, 4, 5 red lights, and Monza Elite TMRC is go. Let's go racing. A good start from Ujoni, a good solid one from Jules. G-Sar's got a better run, and look at Xavier and Reese. Reese already trying to go on the inside of Chris Bailey as they're almost 2 to 3 at best. Going down into the first turn, Ujoni's got it, left it nicely, a bit of space further back. Reese had a great start. He's now up into 4th, got round the outside of Bailey, but Bailey's not letting this one go. Bailey's there. No, this is on G-Star. Do apologise. Look, we'll look from the fight with Chris Bailey, who managed to keep ahead of Xavier, who's having a battle of his own with Liverpool and Stefan, and Jules has lost, and Reese has gone very deep into turn 4, bounced over the curb. Is he going to get those places back? We'll have to wait and see how that one plays out. But everyone's all clean, everyone's through at the moment. I think everybody's in E17 got caught up a little bit at the back, but everyone seems to be okay at the moment.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of a kerfuffle back there, but what a first lap from Reese. Already shot up 4 places in a couple of corners.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he's... I think he has.
No,
Yeah, he has. He has. Very sensible from Reese. Yeah, did bounce over that curb a little bit. Oh, as Jules has gone very, very wide and now opening the door. But is that going to allow Reese to get the run down the back straight, using a bit more of his ERS? And Jules was a lot slower out of there through Ascari. And it has. Reese then gave the position back and now he's back onto it. Look at all this train that we've got. While this is happening, Ujoni's pulled a 2-second gap in a lap.
In 1 lap. That's insane.
And on the hard tyres.
Now everyone's just going to be like, follow the leader now down the straight.
It is. Look at this. This is the battle of the top speeds. Jostling for position. Jostling for a clean bit of braking as well. Easy to outbrake yourself with the dirty air, and the car just doesn't want to stop. And you go, well, through the other person's gearbox is the best one.
Ah, the Lance Stroll approach.
That's the yes, that one. Exactly that one.
Hey, we can make the Aston Martin jokes. We both ride for him.
Yes, we do. Badly, but we do. So there's a bit of a gap from Liverpool to Calvin, who's dropped off the back. He's got Stefan for company. Single Track's lost a couple of... Well, he's back to his original grid position. He was battling with Stefan and Ant. I don't know if he got a little bit caught out in the first turn, but he's dropped off the back quite a bit, and he's got the other Hornet.
I think it's Bergen. Yeah, it's Bergen round of the Lesmos.
Oh, yeah, easy to do on the exit, though. Get a little bit greedy with the power, and that can easily spin you round. We saw it, I think it was one of the Hasses in qualifying we caught with that one. Let's get rid now of the position changes, and once these intervals settle down at the end of this lap, hopefully, we will have the gaps. Now, Reese has closed that one just a little bit, and Bergen's out. Oh, in Ascari, and we've got a safety car already. So Lopin...
A few people are pitting.
Yeah, they are. We've got Stefan and
RL and Calvin both in. They're both on the mediums.
Interesting. So let's have a look now. Sorry, I'll go back to that. The tyres and see what they do. Red Car and Loppy already pitted. Must have had some damage in the collision in the first lap.
Tyres for the Williams.
Yeah, I think everyone's going on
the Alpha.
Yep, and Single Track's pitted as well. It's going to be interesting to see if any of them have damage. Let's have a quick look.
Errors in as well.
We've missed most of them, to be honest. Not quite held up, so he's okay.
Mediums for the Williams.
Yeah, so that's going to be a 2-stop for Error Voice. They will not go to the end. I mean, it'd be hard-pressed to get the hards to the end. They won't feel great. They will do it in terms of the wear, but it is going to feel very, very difficult.
You'll be most likely be doing the Bolero instead of a Grand Prix.
You certainly will. That is exactly that. I'm surprised, Ant didn't pit. I mean, to be fair, I say that, Ant didn't pit. Ant's the tyre whisperer. So, it's a given.
He could probably Alex Albon those tyres and probably get them to lap 26 and then pit on the final lap.
Yeah, he probably could. He probably could. And so this one doesn't really hurt Ujoni, as long as he's just careful with them under the safety car period.
I think it helps him a little bit. Get his might bring the softs into play for him if he can get them.
Exactly that, but it does to the medium tyre runners as well. But I mean, to be fair, we've seen him do crazy things on the harder tyres in the past, and I don't think tonight's going to be any different. And you really can run them, and we know very, very well that the mediums don't do the heat cycles. I mean, tonight they're only a lap or two old, so they won't be too bad. And surprisingly, it's easy enough to keep the heat into the mount here.
Yeah, I think, yes, it is quite high speed, but there's not really many sweeping corners here, is there? To be honest.
No, you've got Curva Grande and Parabolica. Single Track's at this. Oh, Single Track's pitches again and got 5 seconds.
A lot of it's high speed going to slow braking, so quite slow corners. So
Single Track's put another set of mediums on, so that's an interesting one.
I wonder if he swapped tyres again just to get both compounds out of the way, so he can just be flexible for the rest of the race.
Yeah, you can, and to be fair, you won't have taken much life out of those hards either under the safety car. So, yeah, you could do that, exactly that. And obviously, he does have a 5-second penalty to serve now, unfortunately for him. But
just seen it Discord. It was I think it was rear wing damage for Bergen.
Spun him round in a Ascari, maybe trying to get back to the pits.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unlucky on your return, Bergen. but we're still happy to have you back. So lovely to see you in the YouTube as well. If you can, of course, everybody, please do get involved. So I think we'll have at least another lap, because Ryan's a little bit further back. He's now gone to the hard tyres. He used the softs, so now he's onto the hards, and could take those to the end. He's very, very good on his tyres as well, this Ryan.
I'm just having a quick look at the YouTube chat, and Martin, you might as well tell us that the sky's blue. Because it says, Jesus, these folk are rapid. Yes, they are.
Yes, that is why we have the no assist. Yes, and the Aston Martin behind, and one of the Red Bulls, and one of them in, well, actually both of them as well, in the Mercedes Saviour Liverpool. These guys are another level. They really are. Of course, no assist, no ABS for all of these drivers as well in the top tier, and we do encourage people to have a go and reserve when they can, and give it a shot, because you may be surprised.
Yeah, definitely. It's how... Well, to be fair, it's how I started off here as a reserve.
Yeah, I did.
And it's just like you just as a reserve, you turn up to drive, and if you do well, you race clean, you get noticed.
You do get noticed, and if you show the commitment, you show the resolve, you want to race, you show that eagerness and the commitment to MRC and to racing each week, you will get a full-time seat.
Definitely. Just proves it's both of us.
Yep, it certainly does. I was way back in season 2.
I think I joined the season afterwards, and I did the first few races of that, and then I got the drive with the Racing Point.
Is that who you were with? Okay. See, I was Renault for a few seasons back then, when it was the nice colours, which was irony because I worked for them as well.
The Bumblebee Mobile.
That's the one.
I think I've driven for them as well, and I think ironically we share the same teammate as well at the same team.
Yeah, probably did. Would that be Mr. Genie?
That would be him.
It would, yeah. Safety car now in this lap, so Johnny's going to back the pack up. We saw a few of the safety cars go, the drivers go from the edge of the Parabolica to try and get the best run possible, so it's going to be interesting to see where Johnny goes. We're going to ride on board with him as he lets the safety car enter the pit lane, and then where does he go? And he goes outside of the Parabolica as planned, but he catches Reese a little bit nappy, but not too bad, because you've got a short run to the safety car line. But now look at the drag, look at the slipstream that Reese has got. He's pulling alongside. Is he going to be ahead into the braking zone? Wheel-to-wheel, side-by-side action. We've done it just enough space. We've got the inside line, bounce over the curb as Reese going to try the switchback. Is he going to try the drive? He's got the medium tyres on. That's a really rubbish camera angle. He does, Reese.
He's ran the outside of it.
He has. Great. The switchback worked. An absolute treat for Reese. And those medium tyres working beautifully on the restart. Johnny had another look through Curva Grande in the braking to turn 4. Couldn't do anything about it. Chatty Duck, Dumas Horner having a little fight further back, both on the hard compound tyres as well. So that's going to be another good one to watch how far they can go. And Alex has obviously seized that opportunity. And I think Calvin's gone round. He has. On the exit of turn 5. Not a good opening few laps for the Alfa Romeo boys.
No, one car out and one car spinning going backwards.
Yeah, look, he hasn't lost too much time, so he's not going to be far off the back. As long as he's got no damage, he should be okay. But that's going to be interesting to see what Reese can do. Can he break away if possible? But because of the long straights, you can be quite a way back and get the toe, and it can just keep you in touching distance.
Definitely. As just having a quick look down, right, 6th, 7th place. Look at who's reunited again on track for the. I've lost count of how many times now these two have been together.
I know. I'm looking at 5th and 6th, of course, the Blowhole and Saviour.
So Roman Resident, Damon Hill and Michael Schumacher, these two.
It is, isn't it? It really is. Now then, this is just where things sort of calm a little bit in a way. This is now the train you're in. You've got to look after the tyres. You can look after your ERS levels, and of course DRS is going to be available on the next lap. But I tell you what, Jules has just dropped middle, maybe a little mistake, and that's got G-Star all over the back ring. He's gone a little bit wide as well through the Lesmo. Look at Chris Bailey is looking very, very interested at the back of the Red Bull in the Mercedes car. But Jules is going to be the one at risk next lap. And then G-Star and Chris, and of course the guys behind, are not going to want those top two to disappear off into the distance outside of this DRS. So now this is where tactics kick in. Well, Jules got a bit of a cleaner run there through Ascari and did close that gap to under a second, so it's going to be, if he can have a good parabolica.
He could probably get straight back onto the DRS if Ujoni, but are Reese and Ujoni going to start swapping places now, literally every straight and every lap?
Exactly that is true. He is right up the back of Mizu Johnny. Let's have a look. Is he going to try and make another move to retake the lead? The following lap he does. He's pulled to the inside. Reese hasn't defended this time round. Going to Johnny get the car stopped, make the block? He does, and makes it very clean and very easy. So Johnny retakes the lead.
Alex spin at the back.
Oh, Alex, that's not good for you, mate. Where was that? That was Parabolica.
Yeah, Parabolica.
So now top 8, all nose to tail. Chatty Duck is going to want to get on the back of these. He's on the hard tyres as well. So while these guys are potentially holding each other up and in the dirty air of each other, this is where Chatty Duck and the following train can really get in. And tell you what, Carl didn't pit. Everyone else pitted early on. Carl hasn't, and he's found himself up in 11th at the back of a little train with Dumas Hornet and Chatty Duck. So it's a good little... it has just been taken by LOL. Typical now, I've mentioned that. Oh, Xavier Chris into Ascari. There's a little bit of contact. Oh, and I think there's big contact there on the exit. Oh, there's big hit.
Oh, Xavier's in the wall.
I think Liverpool hit the back and Xavier's out. That's going to be another safety car. Liverpool gets 5 seconds already, actually, for that. I've never seen that in the game, but wow, Liverpool must have damage to his front wing. He doesn't, unless he can't see it. But there was definite contact. He was side by side with Chris through the parabolic. Reese has taken this opportunity to pit, and I think all of the front runners are deciding to do it, and they are deciding to dive in. And it's going to be held up from his teammate, unfortunately, but that's just unlucky for him. He had to pit off the soft tyres. He's not going to lose a huge amount of time behind the safety car, but this isn't that all stemmed from Savy getting a run down the previous straight through, side by side with Chris through Ascari. Had got a poor exit. Chris had to take the avoid in action to the outside. Liverpool got the run through and just got the overspeed, and I think tapped the back of Savy and sent him into the wall. From what I could see from where we were on board.
Definitely.
What this does, though, this rescues Calvin. He's back in the mix now, and Ryan as well with the early pit stops. So this order now is all over the shop. I'm not going to lie. It's totally mixed the grid up.
I think I can hear some Italian curse words coming from that Ferrari, though.
Yeah.
A little bit, because he's dropped right into the middle of the... Well, he's still not pitted, and everyone else behind him has pretty much now. Yeah, just Dumas Hornet is the only other one that hasn't pitted yet. Loppy pitted at the end of the first lap. And a few in the previous safety car. Although, looking at it though now, Reese, there's about 5-6 cars between Ujoni and Reese. Reese on the fresher tyres, because he's got to go through Calvin, Lopi, Red Car, Era, LRL and Dumbest Hornet to get to Ujoni.
Yeah, I think...
That may save him.
I think you're right, and I think as well, everyone who's pitted for the hards now can go to the end. Chatty Duck's tried the mediums to go at the end, so that'll be an interesting one if he can get that. They will, to be fair. 18 laps and a few behind the safety car will help. The hards that don't necessarily drop off, so there may not be. I think Reese may find it a bit difficult, unless he's got that overall pace, which we've seen. He may find it difficult, I think.
Yeah, Reese is going to have to slice through these cars like a hot knife through butter.
He is, if he wants to get at the back of Ujoni and really take the fight later in this race, of course. And, we've just seen 3 safety cars. We're only 10 laps in. And this is one that, a later one, could really hurt everybody who's pitted now for who was in that lead battle. Your Chris, your G-Star, your Jules, Reese, everyone like that. That's going to hurt them massively now. Oh, it could, because the guys ahead will get that pit stop and ahead of them, and then be on potentially like the soft tyres that we've mentioned earlier.
Yeah, it's open this up. This is quite a interesting development now with this race, because especially if there is another safety car, probably within the next 3 or 4 laps, Joni's going to be smiling.
Yeah, that one will be fine. He can put the mediums on and they'll go comfy. But anything a bit after that, he's going to hurt him potentially.
Yeah, because he's going to have to try and hope Hornet is a bit of a cork in the bottle. Yeah. Yeah,
potentially, but actually Chris was extremely fast earlier this week, or over the weekend, to be honest. He was very, very quick around here, so I'm not going to discount Dumas at all from any of this.
Nor will I.
And we know how quick Stefan can be. Ever Voice in his day as well. He's on a bit more worn mediums, so he's going to, I think you used them as well. He has to pit again, but the safety car is going in. So now, Joni, is he going to go at the same spot through the exit parabolic? Got the Williams right up the back, but he has gone a bit early. How's Dumas Hornet followed suit? He has quite well. Stefan even closer to the back. Now this is just a battle of overall straight line speed. How much of the battery do you use and waste down the start finish? Look at that, we've got a battle further back. That is Reese. You mentioned it. Is he going to have a look into turn 1? Oh, backed out a little bit, but there you've got Loppy and Calvin almost wheel to wheel. And all pretty good there. Chris Bailey, well, great move around the outside of Jules. That was vital for him to stick with Reese. All status quo at the front. Calvin and Loppy still battling. Oh, that's Calvin's gone straight on. That's going to cost him huge amount of time. Reese got through, and he's fed back in front of Chris. That's not what Chris needed at all. He's going to be gutted with that one.
He is, but with Reese is. I'm just having a look at Reese now. He's right up the back of that house. He's passing him.
He is. Colin Bear, good evening. It has been a while. How are you doing, buddy? Good to see you back in the chat. Hope you're well. Hang on, what we got going on? This is Stefan, got a great exit from Ascari, and he's going to try and make the move on Dumas Hornet. 2-lap fresher tyres, trying to use them a little bit more to his advantage, a little bit less where Chris Bailey has now got past Calvin. Absolute vital in this chase down of Reese and getting through, as you mentioned, the traffic that he's now got ahead. But what can LRL do about Stefan? This is really bringing him into play as well, of course. Fresher tyres and Ujoni up ahead. A lot of chopping and changing further back. Liverpool decided to put the mediums on. Who's that? That's Dumas Hornet and Error Voice trying to get the run. He's got the medium tyres on there. They'll be better, but not great. Ryan's just looking interested, but he's got Reese for company as well. Loppy's dropped off the back. That's allowing Chris to have a look. Is Chris there? He's right on the back end. He's going to try and have a look into the first Lesmore. Let's have a look on board with Chris. What a move this is into the first of the Lesmores. Left enough room as well on exit, but Loppy did not have the grip on the outside. What a move that is from Chris.
It's a yellow flag at the back.
Not sure that was. I think that was Alex Edrick. Unfortunately, went round.
Yeah.
Voice has now got. What a move that is! Look at that for the grip as well on the entrance from Voice, and those mediums just had that front end. But now Dumas Hornet's going to be under pressure from his teammate and just lets the man go. He's a lot of fresher tyres, but Reese has got the drive. Is he going to have a look at the Parabolica onto Voice? Not quite close enough for the slipstream. But we've got Red Car Rambo looking extremely interested as well. Great to see Ryan up there.
Definitely. Another old teammate of yours?
It certainly is, and good friend of mine, local boy to myself. But Reese has got past Voice is trying to get the slipstream, had to back out because he was blocked, and now Dumas on his hand. Have a look, we're looking on the way back. Can Dumas get round the outside of turn 1, turn 2, leaves the space, fantastic wheel to wheel driving between the two. Who's going to have the grip on the exit? It is the mediums for Voice. Great defending, great racing, wheel to wheel, but that's allowed Chris to close on the back of them. Ryan is also still there. Not much he can do at the moment.
And
that's Voice has gone round. Did he get touched? I didn't see it. I didn't. Well, I couldn't
Not
work
sure.
out.
Couldn't see whether it was a spin or whether it was a bit of contact, but.
Palangsevi was in an incident early in this race, 7 laps into the race. Unfortunately, retired on the exit of Ascari. Collins on a wheel. Good lad. Hope we'll see you back soon as well. I know that's going well for your development. Look at this, Ryan. Look at that. What a move on the inside as well. I think he got the DRS off the back of Dumas Hornet and makes the move. Of course, he's flashing. He's always flashing, is Ryan. But Chris Bailey trying to get through as quick as possible. He knows Reese is scampering up the road, and Chris didn't. Well, Chris on Chris. The one in the black car got through nicely. He's going to have the DRS. I think Ryan just does not have the drive. Chris has got the DRS as well. There it is, wide open. Now Chris, 2 seconds further back from Reese, who's also 2 seconds ahead of the top 2. Martin's made a good move further forward. Look at this gaggle of cars! Oh my goodness me! Didn't expect that.
And through turn 1.
He's wheel to wheel. Then we got G-Star wheel to wheel with Chatty Duck. Then we had the 2 Hassers wheel to wheel as well as Alex is still there. And that was wow! I did not expect that when I look back.
Anson's single track is still wheel to wheel going down to the second chicane.
This is absolutely incredible, and single track just had the higher top speed. Chatty Duck gets past G-Star as well. I didn't know where to look with that one.
But I'm just keeping an eye on the front 3 because Reese can smell the back of that Williams and that Ferrari now. Yeah,
and Chris importantly has dropped the DRS. Pardon me, of Edgar Rambo, who hasn't unfortunately dropped Chris, but manages to keep it into Ascari. Captain Coffee, Mark Dennison, I think your beard's ingrown. Oh, Jules went a little bit wide through the exit of Ascari, that just over the white line. That may have given him a warning as well for that one, so that's one's easy to do. Jules really got some good pace right now, and he's important to get through these 2 and continue that battle with the top 2. But Reese has closed that gap hugely in a lap. That grip that he's got, and Anton's out, and it's a virtual safety car this time, but that's on the exit of Ascari.
Yeah, not ideal for Ujoni and LRL because that was a few seconds before they could have gotten the pits.
Yeah, they really could. And Ujoni, of course, hasn't pitted. Dumas Hornet hasn't pitted. E17 did, and unfortunately has a 5-second penalty for that. And you're right, yeah, that it depends how long this virtual lasts. Because some of them will last a lap, some of them will last half a lap.
Some people are taking advantage of pitting.
And to be fair, further down there, yeah,
Calvin and E17.
It's probably not a bad shout. And it's hit the mediums, 12 more racing laps after this one, and they've got the medium tyres. They'll go nicely to the end and not really have too much of a drop. Excuse me, lose my voice already. I haven't even done a Hodgie Howler yet. So, are we going to be going green? It does keep flashing at the top, and I wonder when it flashes. We don't get to see when this virtual safety car is ending. There it is. It's now ending, and now it's done. But I tell you what, Reese got a little bit from it. 1.2 seconds off the back of this pair. And then there you can see all the way further back, there's Chris Bailey, followed by Dumas Hornet and Ryan and Jules. Single Track's found himself back up into 8th as well. He's still got to probably pit again on the mediums.
You'd assume so, but this is not what Ujoni needs. The rampant Williams right behind him.
No, he certainly doesn't, of course. LOL, what a race this is for him. Good evening, Mr. Dennison.
He has pitted as well as LRL, so...
He has, yeah, 2-lap fresher tyres. Picked under the first safety car.
It's worked out nicely for him tonight.
Yeah, but look at this. Reese is catching a lot quicker than those two are able to pull away. That's allowing... Now, once these guys start squabbling, that's going to allow Chris to get on the back of it as well. Oh, Ryan went a little bit wide. Yeah, unlucky for him. He does probably have to pit again, but he is very good, as we mentioned, with his tyres.
Yeah, again, 2 tyre whispers and they're not in the right car.
Exactly, yeah. That's the one. Unfortunately, one of them has retired on the Parabolica. He is out of this race, his aunt. So the rear gunner for Chris Bailey is not there this evening.
Reese is closing in on the front 2 now.
He is. Chris is just sitting there, just... I mean, Chris is just outside of that DRS, yes, but he can have that clean air. He can choose his braking point where he wants it to do, where LRL and Reese sort of have to go with their journeys and react to each other a little bit more, where Chris has that luxury of just doing what he wants, and it's a bit cleaner, whereas Jules now battling with Dumas Hornet with the DRS wide open. I'll tell you one thing, that's interesting. Reese didn't use it.
I wonder if he's trying to dupe LRL a little bit, saying I'm not in the DRS, but I'm actually in the DRS.
But this could just be used to save his tyres, save everything, not have to brake as heavily, potentially into turn 1. And if he doesn't have to use it, he's going to know these guys are probably going to they have to pit. He'll be very surprised if Stefan can get him to the end. They probably will be able to use the softs from now. We got to that lap 17, where I think that is the more, the faster option. 100%. Oh, Chris a little bit wide at the exit. Lesmore may have got a warning for that as well with the track limits. But yeah, Reese again still not using that DRS, so he's got the underlying pace. And he doesn't need to make any moves. He can just sit there knowing that these guys have to pit.
Definitely, it's interesting though to see, is Reese going to try and attack the front two, or is he just going to wait till they have to pit?
Well, that's exactly that. Exactly, we're going to wait and see, I'm sure, the next couple of laps, while Chris is just sitting there 1.6 further back. Now, is Stefan going to actually have a go at Joni down the pit straight? Here he goes, he's pulled into the inside and the overspeed. Wow. That was before the braking. That was some overspeed and a half with that one. I don't think Joni used any of his ERS there to defend.
But I don't think this is the last thing he needs, though. To be fighting with Williams.
He doesn't, but I mean, if he can just sit there like the three of them were, I think if he would see that Reese isn't attacking, he'll know that Reese is on fresher tyres. He'll have seen him pit earlier on. So this is just maybe the mind games that you mentioned. Chris is just sitting there 1.6 back, as we said. Jules is 3 seconds back. And then we've got a lot of battling further back from this one. Let's go and have a look at what's going on. Ryan, 14 laps on his hard tyres, has got Chatty Duck, Neville for company with the other Alpine up his rear wing as well. They're on the medium tyres. Lirapel is having a battle with Dumas Hornet as well. Chatty Duck using the DRS has got past Red Car Rambo. Important for those mediums to get through. They'll start to drop off a little bit soon, but Dumas Hornet, Ryan, they're going to have to pit out, you'd say, it's within the next couple of laps.
Should be. Well, they're still not pitting either LRL or Journey.
No, they're not, are they? Journey's going back through the DRS, but they are pulling away from Chris slightly now.
He is, but I wonder if Chris is just, again, biding his time and just thinking, I don't really have to attack here, I just have to keep it smart, as the Alpines have got past the Ferrari red car. Yeah,
they have, important for them, but quite worn, hard, medium tyres for them as well, so that's going to hurt them later towards the end. And I'm just going to keep an eye on Loppy's gap with Carl. He's behind Alex, 11th and 12th place, but then Loppy in 13th. He pitted, of course, in the last, the virtual, I should say. 14 seconds further back.
Fresh tyres. Possibility he could make the catch.
He could, exactly that, and especially if the other guys have to pit again and they may not go towards the end. I think 11 laps or so, those guys on the hard tyres around that wear should be okay. I'll be surprised if they have to pit again.
It will be a surprise. I'm just keeping an eye on Jules and Lirapel at the minute. They're little fights. Looks like they're going to start fighting the next lap or two.
Yeah, of course, within the DRS, Chatty Duck has really caught on the back of Dumas Hornet as well, which is allowing single track to keep up with his teammate. So let's have a look at Lirapel. Use the DRS wide open, and there he goes, the Haas on the Alpha Tauri. Makes it look easy. What can Chatty Duck do? Does exactly the same carbon copy further back. Everything's just sort of well behaved, aren't they? There's a few little groups. No one's doing anything outrageous, and everyone's just kind of trying to keep the tyres in by the looks of it.
They are. I think, as I say, everyone's starting to settle, just trying to get Just trying to get their feet ready for this. As Lerapel has got past Jules now.
He has.
See for ourselves.
Yep, he did. And, you know, Loppy's taken a good second and a half almost out of bit in the last lap or so, so he is definitely catching. Is he going to be able to do that towards the end and potentially crawl himself back into the points scoring positions? You'd have to say he's nearly there. Not quite, but not far off the pit window for Ujoni. And how long is he going to be able to take those hard tyres? Same with LRL.
Can't be many more laps.
No, but that's funny enough. There he is, he pits. He is pitting. Well, we're going to keep an eye on those tyres, but this is where now Reese is looking interested. Reese is trying to have a look. He didn't quite have the top line speed that LRL has now. Where's Ujoni? What's tyres? Yes, it is the soft tyres. So that Ferrari is going to be prancing and absolutely rampant. It'll be bolting for the gate when he goes, and we've got Dumas Hornet as well as pitted. So Ujoni's going to come out in a good bit of space behind Carl, ahead of Loppy. And this is going to be critical for him to feel where the grip is for that and then just start to close that gap. And when I say start, I mean rapidly.
It's damage limitation a little bit more for you, Jody, now. Just sorry for the points, as I think going back to the front, may have a change of lead soon.
Yeah, but Reese is just sitting there. He's minding, he's saving his ERS as well. Now then, what's LRL going to do about Ujoni's pit stop? Is he going to do it in response and try not to lose too much time and have that lap fresher, soft tyres? Or is he going to try and hang it out and not lose too much time? Because he's not really lost any time towards Chris, but 6 laps. Not just 6 laps left, but 6 laps older tyres. That's a good 12 to 15%. Where? Around here? Look at this, this is Reese. He's actually, oh no, he did use the DRS this time round and he has got it. And he makes the move nice and easy now. Then what can Reese do? A lot fresher tyres. Is he going to disappear into the distance? We will wait and see and keep our eye on it. But Jules still trying to keep up with Liverpool. And there's a few gaps forming at the minute now, aren't there? Ujoni has already got past Carl.
That is frightening.
Well, I'm looking to see where he is, and then I just noticed, and then I flicked past him. So that must be about 4 seconds, I'm sure he came out behind. That is frightening.
It is.
And there's a caution, a yellow flag in sector 3. I think that's might be B17 or Ever Voice has gone round.
Yeah, it is him.
Going again, so luckily we don't need a safety car. That's the last thing that Ujoni would need, because that will just give 3 pit stops really to the guys ahead. But he has caught 2 seconds already this lap to Alex ahead of him. And it's just going to be interesting to see what Ujoni can do in terms of catching up to all these guys. If she starts close a bit on Loppy,
although looking at it, though, LRL's not been dropped by Reese, though.
No, he's not. I wonder if he's just going to try and help and use him to help him. I mean, Chris is still 4 seconds back. He seems to be struggling with overall pace this evening. I don't know if he's made a change to a setup that hasn't agreed with him. And Liverpool's now coming up towards the back of Chris. As Ujoni, unsurprisingly, sets a 20 point... I mean, that's top... Where was I? I did a 20... I'm trying to think what I did in qualifying.
You were 19.
Yeah, but they used it.
19.
And I was top. Where did I start? 4th, 5th. And,
yeah, around there.
I mean, it'd still be about 10th, 11th in expert, and that's mid race. E17 as DNF outside the sky. We've got a safety car. What does Ujoni not need? That is a safety car. That is critical for Ujoni. That's a free pit stop almost. It's half the time. Let's have a look at the gaps to the leader. He's 19 seconds off the lead. This is saved LRL, you'd have to say. This is a great race from him. We're going to have a quick look at those position changes as well. Up 6. This is fantastic for him. And Chatty Duck as well. Ryan up 10. Probably takes this opportunity as well to pit, as many of them will. You would have to say for that. Even if they had a lap on the softs in qualifying, 4 more laps, we're going to probably have... maybe even 2 more laps of racing at the end of this.
Yeah, this is going to be close.
Yep, and Reese and Stefan are pitting. Chris following suit, rightly so, you'd have to say. I think that's just
Rappel going in with them. Jules in. No, Jules has stayed out, and there's Chatty Duck.
Yeah, that's interesting.
They duped him. They duped it a little bit.
They tried to dupe each other and then both decided to stuff it and duped each other to staying out. Oh, Joni has actually managed to get back ahead of Reese and Stefan. He didn't decide to put another set on. So that's going to be interesting to see how much wear he's used on them. And how much wear he's got left and how much life he's got left, what grip overall he's got left with the guys on those fresh tyres. G-Star and Loppy decide to stay out. This is going to be a crazy end to the race, ladies and gents. Don't go anywhere. Hit the like button, of course. Join us. Who do you think's going to win this one? Who do you think is going to sit on the top of the podium? We've got Ujoni 3 laps on the soft. Reese, Ella, Chris, Leverpel as well have pitted for the fresh softs. Come on, put your predictions in that chat. What about yourself? What do you think?
I would still say maybe Reese at this point, still.
That's an interesting one. Yeah, I think obviously that fresher tyres and LOL's looking very good. You mentioned he had a lot older tyres and wasn't being dropped by Reese. So that is a very good opportunity and good shout to say that, to do that as well. So the LOL's a good shout. I think this could go anywhere really between most of the drivers there. I think Jules not pitting. Maybe he's hoping for only 2 laps at the end and no one to have the DRS on him and can just have enough traction to keep ahead.
Yeah, he's gonna need to drive the world's widest AlphaTauri.
He is. He certainly is.
And Chatty Duck's gonna need to make that Alpine as wide as the Eiffel Tower.
He certainly is. Yeah, that's the one. And hopefully not be able to go through the legs of it.
Yeah. It's going to be the 2 laps.
It is, so we're not going to have DRS at the end of this elite tier. So who have we got? Armour Reds. So we've got Palang, Senu, Joni, Reese, then LRL. So I think the top 3 will get through. Armour Red said Reese, Ujoni, then Chris. I like that one. But it's what those mediums for Chatty Duck can do. They're very worn now. The overall grip's going to be horrible on traction. And this is where those guys behind are going to have to really be careful on that one. They may get caught out and surprised by the overall grip and the traction that they're going to have. And even just mid-corner speed.
Yeah, it's going to be who can keep... Can they keep their mediums fighting? Can they keep... Or the soft runner's going to absolutely devour them. Because I've just had a look at the tyre life for the front 2. Not going to make good reading for him.
Oh, can you see the tyre wear?
How many laps they've done, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what we had on, yeah. So that's exactly 16 laps each, and the hards will do that to the end, they'll be okay, but obviously not going to be as fast. It's the mediums, I think Chatty is going to be a difficult one for him, I think, personally. And there we are, folks. We're going to have a 2-lap shootout at the end of this elite tier race. Like I said, we've got 10 likes so far. Come on, we've got 16. Give us a couple more. Let's get into the teens. Let's get 3 more likes on the stream for us all.
Ring that bell as well, so you know when we go live next.
Exactly that one. And then Jules just backing the pack up a little bit more. See, the soft tyre runners, like we mentioned earlier, they can get the heat into them very, very quickly. They don't need to weave as much as you would say some of the others do to keep that heat in them. But when does he go? He's gone early, Jules. He's gone before the parabolic. Caught Chatty Duck napping a lot. But Ujoni has not been caught. Ujoni has been right on the back, but he can't pass towards the safety car line, which is the start finish. It comes up quite nice and early. So he's going to try to get the slipstream. Yeah, Reese has also got the run. Ujoni's got the run, Chatty Duck's gone defensive, but there goes Ujoni on the inside. Where is the Aston Martin's also looking interested, but Chatty Duck's not giving this one in. He's trying to hang it out the outside. I think there's a little bit of contact, and look at the Aston Martin on the other side. Wow!
was insanity.
It was opportunistic, as you like, from Reese, but now he's trying to have a look, and he's side by side with O'Johnny. He got the overrun. He's going to have the better braking into turn 4. Oh, nearly a contact, so that's hampered him on the exit. What could Charlie Duck do? And then he's trying to defend against Chris. Chris on the grass into the Lesmo warning, side by side, had to back out. That could have ended badly. Charlie Duck struggling for the overall grip. Where is Chris? There's Chris. He's desperate. He needs this so badly to get through on Neville as quickly as he possibly can. He's got the overall speed. What can Chris do? Look at this side by side as well. That's chosen O'Johnny into a Scary. O'Johnny's got wide. Look at this race round the outside in the middle of a Scary. And he's got the run as well. Charlie Duck's managed to defend against Chris. Reese and O'Johnny side by side. I can't keep up with this. And he's on the inside of Parabolica as well. Who's on the Charlie Duck's going to go on the outside. Well. Chris is looking at 3 wide through the exit of Parabolica. Further back, this is absolutely insane.
You could throw a blanket over those 5 cars.
You could, but look at the straight line speed with the other guys. Chris is just getting hampered a little bit down that straight line. Is he going to try and back it out? He does. And then he was under pressure from LRL, but look at that, the other Alpine's there. And Chris is now going around the outside and got past Chatty Duck. Imperative for him. O'Johnny retook Reese through that. Now, Chris, what can he do about Jules? He's trying to go off the outside. Now he's switching to the inside line. Look at this ahead. They're almost side by side again, but we're trying to keep an eye on Chris. He's had to back out Reese, and O'Johnny almost side by side as well ahead. Final lap. Oh, Alex is gone, unfortunately. Exit turn 5. Oh, Chris has now got through Jules. He lost a bit of traction through the first Lesmo. Chris now through into third. Going to try to chase these down before the end. This is going to be an incredible finish. Who's going to fill in the top spot? Is it going to be Ferrari? Is it Nastin? Is it going to be Mercedes? What can Reese do? Can he get a better exit? Little bit of a twitch actually in the middle of a Scary. That's opened the door for Chris Bailey. Where's Chris? He's there, almost trying to get the run, but Reese, we know it's in a quick straight line. That's allowed O'Johnny to scamper away. Chris is going to be almost. He's going to have a look at the parabolic. Reese went defensive, just blocked him off. Chris tried. O'Johnny is going to scamper away and take the lead, but is Chris going to try to switch back towards the line? Here he goes. This is a battle for second. It's 0.5 and it was just...
He's just got it. 300th of a second.
Wow. Wow. There are no words to that. I'm sorry for going quiet, folks, but that...
No.
Take a bow.
All of you.
Wow. What a final 2 laps. Rookie hit the nail on the head is a wow. Johnny does hold on and take the victory once again. Chris agonisingly close in that battle with Reese and the run towards the line. What a race that was, and what a finish.
Absolutely outstanding. This is why these are the elite boys.
It really is. That really, really is. I don't even know where to go, but let's have a look at these results, folks. Preliminary, of course. Johnny at the end takes the win from Reese, as you mentioned, by less than 400th of a second from Chris Bailey. Jules holds on extremely well on those really one tyres to take fourth. Liverpool in fifth after 3 stopping. Great laps, a great race from him. Chatty Duck held on as well for 6th. That's LRL in 7th, then G-Star in 8th. Dumbest Hornet in 9th, and Single Track taking points in 10th. Then Calvin, Error Voice, Red Car, Rambo was up there early on. Just unfortunately, the safety car didn't help him at all. Carl in 14th. A lap down, then Loppy, of course, they didn't finish as well in 15th. Then Alex, E17, and unfortunately finished in Saviour and Bergen as well on his return. I'm still trying to get my breath back.
You might be there for a while, I think, by the sounds of that.
I think I need another rum. And yes, I said another. Wow, that was incredible. What a race that was. What an end. And just fantastic wheel-to-wheel action from all of those guys at the top there. I mean, I can't...
Stunning.
I know we need to do a driver of the day. I can't. Because the racing there was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's top tier.
It really was. Literally top tier racing there. And I think that's that, really, isn't it? I think that, we've got to take our hat off to all of those drivers. That battling was absolutely incredible. All fair as well, no contact made, and, Johnny takes the win once again, gets through, and it looked at one point that he wasn't going to get there, but the safety car just about worked for him.
It did. It bailed him out big time, that second safety car.
Yeah, it was just about. So there we are, folks. That is your elite tier. Go and have a sit down, folks, if you're not already, because we need one to digest that one. We will be back on Wednesday evening, of course, for the comp tier, then the sport tier. We are looking for reserve drivers, and there are full-time seats available in MRC. So if you are interested in joining, please click the link in in the YouTube profile there for MRC. We were not here next week. It is a bank holiday, as mentioned, so we do have a week's break. So there may be potentially a race that we will hope for you, and we'll let you know, of course, and just ring the bell, and you'll know when we go live if we host one.
I think we need a break for both of us anyway.
I think we do, John, a little bit. But all that's left. Thank you, my friend, again, for joining me in the comms box 2 weeks in a row. We've been doing this, and
no worries.
It's been great fun.
Thank you for having me again.
Anytime, my friend, anytime. Thank you all for watching. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. And we look forward to seeing you in a couple of days' time on Wednesday evening. Thank you all, and we will see you soon. Good night.
Good night.